They just will not leave her alone. They will not leave Catherine, the Princess of Wales, alone. And this is a plot. Unfortunately, this is a plot not just coming from Montecito and the Sussexes, the paid PR, the Sussex squad, but, and here's something you won't hear from the Royal Rota, but I'm going to hit you with the truth, it's a plot that's also coming from Buckingham Palace too. They are so desperate to do down Catherine, the Princess of Wales. I find it so sickening that they are doing so at the moment based on her appearance after everything that she has gone through. And I just think these wicked witches at the Daily Mail, who are taking their marching orders from Tobin Andre, King Charles's communications secretary, and Buckingham Palace, need to take a long, hard look at what they are doing. So I'm going to run you through the story and what's really going on. Then we'll get analysis from royal YouTube sensation P-Dina. But this has all been sparked by these pictures earlier this year of Catherine seemingly having light into her hair over the summer, right? Now, hair is something that's really personal, right? Especially for a woman in the public eye, especially for a woman that's just gone through cancer treatment. And if Catherine tells me that this is all natural, I believe her. And I'll end the conversation there. But Hello Magazine went viral with this headline: the real reason behind Princess Kate's strong blonde hair transformation finally revealed. And it came from an odd source, a bit of a comedy legend here in the United Kingdom, Heidi High actress Sue Pollard, who was with Catherine at, I believe, the Royal Variety performance, where Prince William's wife told her that she achieved the viral blonde hair look during her outing to the Natural History Museum in September, naturally over summer. Now, to me, I didn't even report on this because I just thought, great. Her hair went a little bit lighter over summer. She was trying out a bit of a different style. Brilliant. I thought she looked amazing. Actually, even at the time, I didn't join this hate mob. But what I have been tracking for some time is that the Daily Mail are on a campaign to try and bring Catherine down. And I'm not saying they want to destroy her entirely, but they want William and Catherine to be on notice. They want William and Catherine to feel like the public is turning on them. They want William and Catherine to feel like they have to play by the Daily Mail's rules. That's what this is all about, power. And William and Catherine are refusing to do that. So what keeps happening, and I think this was one of the most egregious examples, is that the wicked witches of the Daily Mail, which include Amanda Platel and Sarah Vine, were sent out. And this time it was Liz Jones, who took that little revelation to Sue Pollard and ran with it with this headline: sorry, but it's now time for Kate to stop making excuses. So, of course, they refused to call Kate Catherine, her real name Catherine, the Princess of Wales, which is another annoyance. And what equally infuriated me with this column is it was clearly an attack. It was clearly an attempt to say to the world, oh, Catherine's lying about her hair. Yet it was written in a way that could make you believe that Liz Jones was actually trying to be kind about our princess. So here's the column. What a blabbermouth. Off with her head. The actress Sue Pollard has broken the circle of trust upon meeting a royal, and now, well, all hell has broken loose. No, it hasn't, Liz Jones. All hell has not broken loose. You are the one that has turned this into a thing. She goes on, it has been revealed by the Heidi High alumnus that when she met the Princess of Wales backstage at the Royal Variety performance earlier this month, she brazenly made a very personal comment. I like your hair. It looks a lot lighter, Sue commented. Catherine replied, it used to be brown, but it's gone light in the sunshine. Cue much guffawing and incredulity on social media. Love Princess Kate, but that didn't come from the sunshine, and she's also wearing extensions, one commentator wrote. There's no way on God's green earth the sunshine did that to her very dark tresses, wrote another. I imagine as soon as Catherine opened her mouth to reply, she knew the comments, should her response be made public, would come thick and fast. Catherine would have perhaps not wanted to go into naming her hairdresser or the shade on the box. She might not have wanted to dampen a lovely evening, but talk about how cancer can change your hair, texture, and colour. And so she replied with something bland and innocuous, but of course these days proves to be anything but. Well, no, Liz Jones, you're the one that is claiming that this comment was a lie. No one else was questioning that until your wicked column. She goes on, it seems trivial being criticised for your hair, but for most women, our hair is our armour. We sometimes hide behind it, flaunt it, flick it, dye it, try out something new. The thought of losing our hair through chemo, the menopause stress is our worst nightmare. So why don't you just not comment on it then? And here's where she makes the pretense that she's actually defending Catherine when she's doing the opposite, accusing Kate of fibbing about her new buttery and I think deeply flattering shade as misogynistic and cruel. In fact, she's proof you can become extraordinary through sheer force of will. Kate, the simple truth is you don't know us an explanation. The most important sovereignty is the one over your own body. Don't let anyone dull your shine. But P-Dina, that's exactly what Liz Jones and the Daily Mail have been doing by thrusting Catherine's hair into the spotlight. And let's just be quite honest about what they're doing here, claiming that she is lying.
A very quick but personal message from me to you to let you know that the best way you can support Dan Wootton Outspoken is to subscribe to my Substack at www.outspoken.live. Substack is a free speech platform that protects me from big tech cancellation and lawfare. Paid annual or monthly subscribers get an extra hour of content with the Royal Uncancelled After Show available every weekday with no advertising whatsoever. You can also message me direct on there. That's www.outspoken.live.
Yeah, why would you even do that to such a woman? I mean, she is just doing her job. She is someone that is so beloved by the people. Why bring this up as something? And the fact that she's had treatment for cancer, that's always a big thing around hair. I think it's a very touchy thing to even talk about when she's had some health issues. But trying to create some kind of controversy around Catherine and her hair, I think is absurd. It just tells me you have an agenda. You are trying to create something that is not there. And it points to very petty, just ways of trying to draw up some kind of talking point to make you look like you're observant to something that maybe we didn't catch. Look, we don't care. We look at Catherine. She looks beautiful. She looks amazing. And I think what she said about her hair from the sun, I know that to be a fact with people that I've been around. Their hair has been lightened by the sun. Leave it at that. Oh, okay. And move on. Like, why even do this? I find it so, it's almost like what Megan does. I think people are just trying to find something about Catherine because she is such a non-controversial person, and they want to create something out of her that's negative. But this is ridiculous to try to do it with her hair. I'm just giving them the side eye at this point with that one.
Yeah, and it's like they'll never learn, P-Dina, because remember, it was just a few weeks ago in September where Amanda Patel, the other Daily Mail Wicked Witch who is sent out by the editor when they want to bring someone down, had to issue this groveling apology. I'm so disgusted with myself for the cruel thing I said about Kate. I'm choking on my words now I know the truth. Kate, I'm just so sorry. But it's like they don't learn their lesson. And P-Dina, because remember, I used to be the main columnist for the Daily Mail Online in the UK. I know how they operate. I know where this is coming from. I know, and again, I think this is why it's important that I call it out, because I do know how things work, P-Dina. I mean, Tobin Andre, who is the communications secretary for the King, so he was the one that led that meeting with, remember, Team Sussex, which was caught outside the private club just across from Buckingham Palace. He used to be a senior executive at the Daily Mail. He was my boss at the Daily Mail, okay? So his connections with the Daily Mail run incredibly deep. And there has been a campaign, you cannot deny it, because why? All of a sudden at one time, a female columnist after female columnist who in the past, P-Dina, have been nothing other than supportive of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, coming out
Right.
and attacking her. It is a coordinated campaign. And much of it is to do with the fact that William and Catherine simply will not play the games with the newspapers. So, for example, they were really annoyed, the Mail was really annoyed that they wouldn't tell them about moving to their new house,
Mm,
you know?
right.
And
Mm.
I just think it's really bad. I just think it's really bad after everything Catherine has been through, dragging her into this and setting your wicked witches on her when she doesn't deserve it. Certainly
Yeah.
not at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think also, like I said last time, I think it's coming from the top. I think they're not, I don't know that they would just do this, perhaps like because you've worked there, but that they would. But I just think they're trying to find a way to take the talking points for Catherine to be negative because they want to deviate from maybe others at the top. I mean, I know there were issues with the king and Camilla, Queen Camilla. I just think that they're doing this because the coordination is there, perhaps with some other senior royals. That's what I believe, just from the other stories that we've heard um, at that level, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, totally. And I mean,
Yeah.
look at these other headlines. William and Kate have become the prince and princess of boring. This is why they need to stop skulking around and take a leaf out of Harry's book or risk
Mm,
Charles's wrath. Well, come on, that was coming directly from Buckingham Palace. Of course it was. And
yeah.
then Kate and Wills need a recipe for the magic of monarchy. It's like, look, I understand, P-Dina, that things are really tough for Buckingham Palace at the moment. Okay, I get that.
Mm,
I actually have huge sympathy for them. What Charles is going through is horrendous. He's very, very unwell. Very unwell. More unwell than they are prepared to let on. And his reign has been completely beset by issues thanks to his brother and thanks to his son, his youngest son, by the way. I'm talking about Harry and Andrew here. And he
mhm.
ignored Prince William's advice about not meeting Harry. That turned pear-shaped. He ignored William's advice about dealing toughly with the Andrew situation. That quickly blew up in his face. I have sympathy for that. But what I do not have sympathy for, P-Dina, is trying to use William and Catherine and leak bad things about William and Catherine to try and save your own reign. That
Right.
is just so wrong. And it is happening.
And that's what they do. I mean, we saw it with Diana. I
Hmm.
think it was, a lot of things are just so cutthroat at that level, and trying to bring disdain on, someone in your own family doesn't really speak to a very happy family life. I think it speaks to a lot of negativity and being self-absorbed in trying to make yourself outshine others in your family. I think it's just a very sick way of trying to, rule or do the work that you're doing. I think you can all shine. There's so much out there for everyone, especially when you are going through some personal health issues. Who needs that? I mean, I know the royal family is a business, but at the same time, I think you should all come together and just let people do what they do and not really try to overshadow other people. It just seems not very genuine. And we know this is coming from, I believe really strongly that it is coming from the top, because that's how we've seen it happen in the past, even with Diana. And it's a shame because they're so loved by the people, William and Catherine. Leave them alone.
Totally. And by the way, just a reminder, Liz Jones, that you were actually the person that spoke about Catherine's hair in the first place. I don't forget these things. Back in September, this was the headline. There's so many similar comments about Kate's hair. No one else will confront it, so I will. And that was all about the dye job that she claims. I believe Catherine, by the way, and I'm more than happy to. Now, you speak about Diana, P-Dina. I want to show you this from the Royal Grift, who says this woman is next level insane, speaking about Meghan Markle. And she has put together a brand new video. Let's take a look at it now, P-Dina, which I think in the most excruciating detail analyzes just how much Meghan has been studying and cosplaying the Princess of Wales. And I know the former Princess of Wales, sorry, I'm speaking about the late Princess Diana, obviously not Catherine. And P-Dina, I just think, wow, obviously we've known this for a long time, but this video really shows quite how creepy and weird it has become. But first, a reality check. Data leaks aren't a once-in-a-while story anymore. They're constant and they're massive. When a mega breach hits, millions of people's details spill at once. Phone numbers, home addresses, even sensitive stuff. Worse, that data doesn't fade away. Data brokers and people search sites buy and resell it endlessly. So scammers, stalkers, even curious employers of your future can pull up your life within a quick search. That's why I use Incogni. In a murky industry, Incogni is the proof-driven service independently verified by Deloitte to request removals from hundreds of broker sites and private databases, follow up repeatedly, and log the confirmations as they come in. Here's how simple it is. Create your account and share only what's needed to find your exposed profiles. Authorize Incogni once, just once, to act on your behalf. They start the takedowns and keep chasing so your data doesn't creep back online ever. And the power feature custom removals on the unlimited plan. If you spot your info anywhere, so court portals, company directories, people search pages, drop that exact link into your dashboard. Incogni's privacy team then takes it on beyond the automated list. Unlimited links handled by specialists. It's low effort, it's effective, and it gives you real peace of mind. They can't target you if they can't find you. So don't wait for the next breach. Head to incogni.com/outspoken right now and get 60% off an annual plan. That's incogni.com/outspoken. Protect yourself, your family, and your future. But now, back to the show.
Yeah, Dan, I spoke with Megan's friend, Nanaki Pretty, and we talked about Megan in the younger years, when they were younger.
Oh,
And
wow.
she told me that this is what Megan did even back then. She would mimic people that she looked up to and try to, take on their mannerisms because it was something that she felt helped to, bring her alive in a way that she wanted to be like these people. So why not mimic them in their style and what they do? And we know also from the Nagi that, Megan and her, they watched the wedding. I mean, Megan was consumed with Diana. She really wanted to be like her. And what is so crazy about all of this with Megan is how Harry has essentially married his stalker. Because the reason why Harry is going through everything that he is going through right now is because his wife has essentially turned on him and is trying to now become his mother. And that's not good for a relationship, a marriage. I mean, this woman is sick. Seriously, I believe she is sick. She has really taken the life out of Harry. He's not the same man, and she has destroyed him, completely the opposite of what Catherine has done for William, like we spoke about earlier. So I think, Harry's just in a lot of trouble just from watching these videos. And we also have to remember Meghan in Paris, driving by the site of where Diana died, a hotel near that site. Megan has done things that are so creepy and odd that you would have to be almost just sadistic, sinister in your thinking to even try to do this, not behind, closed doors like we don't know you. Know you're a public person doing this. I think that's what makes it even worse, that we know Diana. We see what you're doing now, Megan. You are doing things that are at a level of, I think, can be very dangerous for at Harry at the end of the day because he married this woman.
Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did.
He married her.
And then there was another video this week, P-Dina, which I wanted to get your take on. And I actually compared the two because Meghan Markle did an awful job of sort of trying to do this whole like, oh, I'm just an authentic influencer at home, and this is how I serve up breakfast over the holiday period, as she calls it. And then Emma Grede the next day, and I remember Emma Grede, friend of the Kardashian, who Meghan has become pals with, and Meghan sat down for her podcast earlier this year, did her own video. And it was actually Nancy Sidley who put this on to me, because she wrote, it cracks me up how effortless this is for Emma, while Meghan Markle struggles to make videos like this. And I just want to show you the side-by-side comparison, P-Dina, and then we'll get your verdict.
Stations, and they can help themselves. This I had gotten from a vintage store and I love it. This is our raspberry. Actually a really nice way to add to a little yogurt parfait station. Start with some jam.
Very famous roast potatoes ahead of Thanksgiving. Before you all say it, I know that roast potatoes are not a traditional Thanksgiving thing, but they're my Thanksgiving thing. First thing you need to do is grow some potatoes and peel them.
I like having some of the fruits whole and the rest sliced in half. The same fruit just looks so much cuter. And on this one, let's put some whipped cream, the remaining strawberry and raspberry jam that we have, fan favorite in my house.
And a little more butter at this stage. I reckon these will be done in about 10 minutes. Potatoes are ready now. This is exactly how they should look. They need to be beautifully soft.
And there's just nothing authentic about Meghan Markle's idea of authenticity, is there?
Yeah, it's interesting when you watch Emma, it's just one camera. It's just her with her
Yes.
camera, right? And Megan has all these different camera angles, these close-ups, the filter, she's got the music. She's really trying to create a high production and not really just being yourself. And I think that's the control that Megan likes to have. She just wants to, have this control to pick out all these things that she wants for her little shoot and try to be something that is not real. It just doesn't feel real and personable like Emma's. Emma seems very, laid back. Hey, here I am with the camera. Let's do this. And Megan is just complicated. And that to me points to how complicated everything is in Megan's life. Complicated with, the excuses around the dress, complicated around, taking the pictures with the kids and, with Harry. I mean, everything with Megan is so pretentious and trying to look authentic when you come off very flat, dull, and not likable. Megan has ruined everything about what she has tried to do. And there's no way for her to get out of it because she has already shown us who she is. She can't even try to change it at this point. I don't think she could do it. Megan has lost the battle with trying to be her own independent woman because we've seen her behind the curtain and it's something we don't like. We've seen the wizard and she is just not
Mm.
somebody that we want to even gravitate to because we see her do little things like this. This is what makes her not likable at the end of the day.
P-Dina, I wanted to ask you about this from this week too, because obviously you're former Californian gal yourself. And Meghan's interview in Harper's Bazaar, obviously there were other things that stole the attention, like the Duchess of Sussex introduction
Mhm.
in a private apartment with no one home. That sort of stole the attention. But local Californians have been pretty angry about the way that she described the LA riots. And she keeps on talking about her experience then, doesn't she? And she actually described them as cinematic, which a lot of people have told Radar Online was actually really offensive. She said it was cinematic in a way I don't think many people can understand. It was so visual, smoke everywhere. People were driving around with the back of their SUVs open. I saw people running with boxes of diapers, smashed windows, so much fire and ash falling from the sky that it felt like snow. It was scary, but LA survived it. And local residents basically saying, well, number one, you weren't there. And number two, you're trying to turn yourself into the hero of this piece. Were you offended by it?
Yeah, absolutely. I was there during the LA riots. I remember vividly what it was like. And Megan trying to take yet again something, tragedy, and bring herself into the story. Yes, first of all, she was not there. I know from her father when I talked with him that he took Megan out of LA during the riots, to Palm Springs. She wasn't even there. But to try to relate yourself as somebody who was during that whole, very tragic time. It shows that she's the disaster tourist. That's what she does, and she wants to be there amongst tragedy and make light of it and say she was a part of it and try to elevate herself around tragedy. And this is just a blatant attempt at Megan once again lying about a situation to help elevate herself. There were a lot of horrible things that happened during the riots. And, Megan, you weren't there. You were in Palm Springs, and you trying to now make this as a story that relates to you some kind of way is just a blatant lie. You are the worst of the worst to try to capitalize off a tragedy. That's what I just can't get over. How she just does not care. We remember when she went to Vivaldi. These are dead children. You're trying to go there to film your sorrow amongst dead children. It's sick. This woman does not know when to just say, "Hey, look, this is not my lane. I'm not going to do this." And she does it, and it's so cringe. It's so bad that, she can't ever, I think, rise above all the things that she has done to become this likable person. I mean, anybody that is a fan of Megan's really needs to look at all of the things that she has done and put yourself in these situations. How would you feel about Megan capitalizing off of your family's tragedy? You wouldn't like it, right? And so people who are looking to Megan need to understand the kind of person she is. I mean, the audacity to do these things is what is, to me, mind blowing. It boggles the mind.
I know. Now, P-Dina, so I'm sorry I'm just dropping this on you. But
Hmm.
so are you up for watching the last With Love Megan next week? And then we'll come back with our crew. Because I think what's important is we've done this for people as like a public service throughout, haven't we? It's like, don't watch it. Don't give her the Netflix views. Don't do that whole hate thing. We'll watch it for you. We'll tell you all of the lowlights. We'll bring a bit of us, a bit of the crew together. I think Lauren the Insider, maybe the Sidley twins too, and we'll take it apart for you, so you
Absolutely.
don't
Let's
have
do it,
to.
then. Let's do our public service, okay?
it's our Christmas present to the world. Okay, great. Well, that will be fun, sort of. I'll see you next week.
All right.
for our last With Love Megan takedown. And it's definitely the last. We know it's the last. There ain't going to be any more. So make sure you're with us for that. But if you do want first access to our Royal Uncancelled After Show, then do sign up to my Substack. www.outspoken.live is the address. Paid annual and monthly subscribers get first access to the Royal Uncancelled After Show. You can sign up, though, completely for free, too. If you do go for that paid membership, though, you get first access to the Royal Uncancelled After Show, live or on demand, whichever you prefer. And you can watch with no advertising whatsoever. So that address again, www.outspoken.live. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.